Okay, imagine waking up one day and realizing your own government secretly experimented on human minds. Not in a movie, not in a conspiracy theory, in real life. Imagine sitting in a hospital, trusting your doctor, while unknown chemicals are pumped into your body. Imagine drinking coffee at a normal business meeting, never knowing someone slipped LSD into your drink. Imagine losing your memories, your personality, even the ability to recognize your own children. Because during the Cold War, the CIA launched one of the darkest secret programs in modern history, a program called MKUltra, a classified operation designed to answer one terrifying question: can the human mind be controlled? And to find the answer, innocent people became test subjects. Some were prisoners, some were mental patients, some were ordinary citizens who had absolutely no idea they were being experimented on. People were drugged without consent, electroshocked until their memories disappeared, psychologically tortured in the name of national security. And the most disturbing part? The government later admitted it all happened. Tonight, we uncover the horrifying true story behind MKUltra, the secret CIA experiments that destroyed lives, erased minds, and changed history forever. Welcome to Dark History. The man who started it. To understand MKUltra, we first need to understand the man behind it. His name was Allen Dulles, one of the most powerful intelligence figures in American history. During the early Cold War, the United States became obsessed with one terrifying fear. What if the Soviets had discovered a way to control human minds? American prisoners returning from the Korean War appeared mentally broken. Some even praised communism. To intelligence officials, this seemed impossible, unless brainwashing was real. And Allen Dulles believed America needed to master it first. In 1953, he approved a secret CIA project designed to study mind control, interrogation, psychological manipulation, and chemical experimentation. That project was MKUltra. Officially, it was about national security, but behind closed doors, it became something far darker. Sidney Gottlieb. The man chosen to run MKUltra was a chemist named Sidney Gottlieb. On the surface, Gottlieb seemed harmless. He loved nature. He grew his own food. He lived quietly on a farm. But inside the CIA, he became known as the agency's master of poisons and psychological experimentation. Under his leadership, MKUltra expanded into a massive secret network involving hospitals, universities, prisons, and research centers. The CIA funded experiments across North America. Most participants had no idea who was really behind the research. And one substance became the center of everything: LSD. The CIA believed LSD might unlock the secrets of the human mind. Could it force people to tell the truth? Could it erase memories? Could it completely break someone psychologically? There was only one way to find out: experiment on human beings. Secret LSD experiments. At first, CIA agents tested LSD on each other, but very quickly, the experiments spread to unsuspecting civilians. Drinks were secretly spiked. Subjects were observed without consent. People became trapped inside terrifying hallucinations without understanding why. One victim would become the most famous case connected to MKUltra, a scientist named Frank Olson. In 1953, Olson attended a CIA retreat. During dinner, Sidney Gottlieb secretly added LSD to the drinks. Frank Olson suffered a severe psychological breakdown. He became paranoid, depressed, terrified. He wanted to leave his government job. Friends and family noticed something was seriously wrong. Instead of helping him properly, the CIA monitored him closely. Then, 9 days after being drugged, Frank Olson fell from the 13th floor of a New York hotel. The government ruled it a suicide. His family was told Olson had suffered a nervous breakdown, but decades later, disturbing evidence emerged. When Olson's body was examined years later, forensic experts found injuries suggesting he may have been struck before falling from the window. His family began asking terrifying questions. Did Frank Olson jump, or was he silenced? To this day, the full truth remains unknown. Operation Midnight Climax. If you think the story cannot get darker, it does. The CIA launched another project connected to MKUltra called Operation Midnight Climax. And yes, that was the real name. The operation involved secret apartments set up in cities like San Francisco and New York. Inside these apartments were hidden microphones, cameras, and one-way mirrors. CIA operatives hired sex workers to lure men into the rooms. Once inside, the victims were secretly drugged with LSD. The men had no idea they were part of government experiments. From behind hidden walls, CIA agents watched and recorded everything. They observed how the drugs affected behavior, emotions, and reactions. Many victims never even knew they had been experimented on. The CIA specifically targeted people unlikely to report the incidents to police. The operation continued for years, and the experiments became increasingly extreme. The agency explored hypnosis, sleep deprivation, psychological torture, and sensory manipulation. They mixed drugs together to study how far they could push the human mind before it broke. MKUltra slowly transformed into a massive machine built around one terrifying goal: control human behavior. Ewen Cameron and the hospital experiments. One of the most horrifying figures connected to MKUltra was psychiatrist Ewen Cameron. At the time, Cameron was one of the most respected psychiatrists in the world. He worked at the Allen Memorial Institute in Canada. On paper, he appeared highly respected. But behind closed doors, his experiments were horrifying. Cameron believed mental illness could be cured by completely destroying a person's existing personality, then rebuilding it from scratch. He called this process psychic driving. The CIA secretly funded his research. Patients entered his hospital seeking help for anxiety, depression, or emotional problems. What happened to them inside was devastating. Many patients were placed into drug-induced comas for weeks. Some remained unconscious for over a month. While sedated, recordings played repeatedly beside their beds for hours every single day. The messages repeated endlessly, sometimes thousands of times. Cameron also used extremely powerful electroshock treatments, far beyond normal medical levels. Some patients received hundreds of shocks over short periods. The effects were catastrophic. People forgot their own names. Some lost childhood memories. Others forgot how to read or speak properly. Some no longer recognized their families. Patients who entered the hospital with relatively minor emotional struggles left permanently damaged. Some never fully recovered. And the most disturbing part? Many victims never understood what had been done to them until years later. The CIA expands the program. As MKUltra grew, the CIA expanded into dozens of secret sub-projects. Experiments appeared in universities, prisons, military bases, and hospitals. The agency tested LSD, mescaline, barbiturates, amphetamines, hypnosis, electroshock, sensory deprivation. Researchers wanted to discover whether memories could be erased, whether personalities could be reshaped, whether obedience could be chemically controlled. Some victims volunteered without understanding the risks. Others were never informed at all. Prisoners became test subjects. Mental patients became test subjects. Students became test subjects. Entire lives were changed forever in the name of Cold War paranoia. At its peak, MKUltra involved over 150 sub-projects. Millions of dollars were secretly spent on human experimentation, and most Americans had absolutely no idea the program existed. The cover-up. By the 1970s, rumors about illegal CIA experiments began spreading. The government feared public outrage.
In 1973, CIA Director Richard Helms ordered most MKUltra files destroyed. Thousands of documents were shredded. The agency attempted to erase the program from history forever, and for a while, it almost worked. But by pure accident, some documents survived. A collection of files had been stored in a different location and escaped destruction. Years later, investigators discovered them. The surviving records exposed shocking details about secret
Human experiments. Soon, the U.S. Senate launched investigations into CIA abuses. Public hearings forced intelligence officials to answer difficult questions. Americans watched in disbelief as the truth slowly emerged. The government had secretly experimented on its own citizens for decades, without consent, without oversight, without accountability. One senator described the victims as expendable. That word captured the horror perfectly. To the people running MKUltra, human beings became tools, not people, just experiments. Sidney Gottlieb testifies. Eventually, Sidney Gottlieb himself testified before Congress. By then, he had retired from the CIA. He appeared calm and emotionless. When questioned about MKUltra, Gottlieb admitted parts of the program had been unfortunate. Unfortunate. That single word shocked many people, because the damage caused by MKUltra was far beyond unfortunate. People lost memories. People suffered permanent psychological trauma. Families were destroyed. Some victims lost their identities completely, and yet almost nobody involved faced serious punishment. No major criminal trials happened, no long prison sentences. Most of the people responsible simply retired quietly. The aftermath. Alan Dulles died before the full truth became public. Sidney Gottlieb retired to his farm. Most victims never received justice. Some families received financial settlements years later. Others received nothing at all. But MKUltra permanently damaged public trust in government institutions because it revealed something terrifying. Highly educated officials, scientists, and intelligence agencies can convince themselves that almost anything is acceptable if they believe the stakes are high enough. The program also exposed the dangers of secrecy. Without oversight, even democratic governments can commit horrifying acts behind closed doors. And some critics believe the legacy of MKUltra never truly disappeared. Years later, interrogation methods used during the War on Terror showed disturbing similarities to techniques explored during MKUltra. Sleep deprivation, sensory manipulation, psychological breakdown. History seemed to repeat itself. The legacy of MKUltra. Today, MKUltra remains one of the most infamous government programs ever exposed. It inspired movies, books, conspiracy theories, and documentaries. But beneath all the myths and internet rumors lies something much worse. The real story. Because the truth is already horrifying enough. Real people were secretly drugged. Real patients were psychologically destroyed. Real families spent decades searching for answers, and many questions still remain unanswered. How many victims were never identified? How many records were permanently destroyed? How many experiments were never uncovered? We may never know. But one thing is certain. MKUltra proved that fear can push governments into terrifying territory. Fear of enemies, fear of losing power, fear of falling behind. And once people convince themselves the threat is great enough, almost anything becomes justifiable. That is what makes MKUltra so disturbing. Not just the experiments themselves, but the mindset behind them. Because throughout history, some of humanity's darkest actions began with the belief that the ends justified the means. MKUltra sounds like science fiction, but it was real. Real victims, real experiments, Real destroyed lives. And even now, many questions remain unanswered. How many secrets are still hidden? How many stories were buried forever? Because history has shown us something dangerous. The darkest experiments are often the ones carried out in silence. Thank you for watching Dark History. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe for more stories hidden beneath the surface of history. And remember, your mind belongs to you.